So I'm just rolling up to Automark here in Ottawa, ready to get my new exhaust installed. It is sitting right here next to me in the passenger seat. Thankfully it is small enough to fit in here. Yeah, so I'm super excited to get it installed today. The guys at Automark, they specialize in European cars, so if you are in the Ottawa area, support local small businesses and check them out. Super excited, so we're looking forward to having a new exhaust soon. So the exhaust is on, the JCR exhaust from the UK. First impressions, fantastic exhaust so far. I finally got around to doing some video clips, but before I show you those clips, I wanted to talk to you first about why I got an exhaust in the first place for the Spyder and why I chose JCR. So on my last 981 Cayman GTS, I didn't need an exhaust. It was perfect. Porsche sport exhaust. Open the valves, they stayed open all the time, and the exhaust banks from the exhaust flow from both banks mixed together in the center and it came out. So it had that perfect flat six sound. Now with the OEM exhaust on the 718, they changed a bunch of things. So first of all, because of emissions, there is a gas particulate filter just above or just behind the rear wheels, and that acts as kind of a sound muffler. So it's almost an additional muffler on top of the rear section. So what that does is it reduces the noise. So it was super quiet from the factory. And secondly, because of noise regulations in Europe, they had to change the valve programming. So the valve programming caused the valves to close at a certain RPM while driving. So only under certain conditions, like if you're stopped or if you're under wide open throttle over 5,000 RPM, then the valves open. Otherwise they're closed, and when they were closed, they were really quiet. And another problem I had with the factory exhaust was that when the valves were open, it was a straight through. However, there was no cross between the two banks. So the exhaust gases came out separately from the two banks. They didn't mix, and it kind of gave an odd sound. And if you listen to Matt from Obsessed Garage's videos, he talks about the sound being a hollow sound. And he even said that hollow sound is there after he changed the over axle pipe. So a lot of guys, it's a lot cheaper than changing the rear section is just to replace the over axle pipes that remove the gas particulate filter, and it just exchanges it for a straight pipe. Now that fixes the loudness and makes it louder, but it doesn't fix the tone. So the factory exhaust tone still has that hollow sound that Matt from Obsessed Garage talked about. And so I knew from there that I didn't want to change the OAPs, because I need to change the tone, not just the volume. So I did my research, and out of all the manufacturers that were available at the time, JCR seemed to fit the bill. It was titanium, which obviously is very expensive. However, it's half the weight of the OEM system, which kind of goes together very well with the rest of the car. That's carbon ceramics, it's got the carbon bucket seats, so it goes well with that lightweight theme. Secondly, I didn't want to get a valve control. So I didn't want to get a valve control that caused the valves to be open all the time. I find it's an invasive mod because you have to basically wire in a controller that intercepts the signal to the valves to keep them open all the time. I didn't want to do that. JCR has done a really good job of blending that valves closed and valves open functionality of the stock valve programming. So when you're driving around, you still get that sound when the valves are closed. And on the highway, there's no drone. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. It still might not be loud enough for many people. I think there's a few people that would say, it's still too quiet with the valves closed. But for me, it's perfect. I wasn't looking to be obnoxious, so the way that JCR kind of blended those two paths in together was perfect. The other reason why I like JCR is because they blend the exhaust gases from both banks of cylinders. So now it's the same as like I had in my 981, where the exhaust gases come from both sides of the cylinders, they mix together in an X pipe, and then they exit. So now you get that full flat six sound. So I'm done talking. I'll let you have a listen to how it sounded before with the OEM exhaust and how it sounded after with the JCR. And let me know what you think in the comments.